Alright, for our first project in Canva, we're going to get started with a pretty simple project. And to get started, we're going to click on this plus symbol. This takes us to all the different options, like different categories of project templates and sizes you can choose from. There are so many here, it's almost overwhelming. So we're just going to get started with a simple, let's go to print. Will give us some popular print sizes. I'm just going to use the basic flyer portrait. This is a standard size, 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So it's a very familiar size to you. When you click on this, it's going to open up a new tab with your project in it. So this is our blank canvas to create on. So we're going to, in this project, create a collage of your favorite things. To get started, I want to start with the text. So we're going to add your name somewhere so I know whose this is. So you can click on here to add a text box. And there's a little box for your paragraph text. If you double click, actually triple click, it will select all the text there and you can delete it. And you can just start typing and put your name in. Once you have something typed, you can select all of it and you can change the size. You can also use this little thing in the corner, these little handles, you can use those to resize. And then you can also change the style. So here's a creative way for you to make it different. If you click on where it says Canva Sans, that's just the default. You can change the style of the font. So there's so many different styles you can look through. I'm just going to pick one that looks pretty good. So to get started, I'm just going to go through all these steps fairly quickly so you get the handle on what the project is supposed to be and how to use the basic tools here. So already we've created some text. If you're happy with that, you can click anywhere. And then if you want to reposition it, you can just grab it and move it around. Now there's obviously other options. You have text color, you could change the color, you could make it bold, underlined, all those things. And then we're just going to focus on the basics, so I'm not going to get into the weeds too much with each tool. So those are the basics. If you ever want to rotate an object, there's this little guy here which allow you to rotate an object, which we're going to use later on in our project. So now that we have our name, let's go ahead and find something to make the background look a little bit different. So what I like to use is the elements. The elements within here, you have several different things, different categories that you could click on. But I want to use a background. So I'm just going to search. You can search for background. I like to use a textured background. So I'm going to write in textured background. Here you have different categories for even this background. You have graphics, which are going to be digitally created things, photos, which will be more organic things. We're going to stick to still imagery, so no videos for this assignment. So I'm going to click to expand to see all photos within this search result. So here are some interesting patterns I could use as a background. I'm just going to scroll through quickly and find one that I like. Let's say I want to use this. I'm going to rotate it so it's the orientation that I'm using right now, so 90-degree rotation. And then I'll increase the size by grabbing the corner handles and just dragging it out to where it fills the entire project. So here's my basic background to my project. And the goal of this project is to create a collage of your favorite things. So I'm just going to use my own favorite things as an example. So let's say I like dogs. I have pet dogs. So I'm going to grab a picture of a dog, and I want a real image. Not a digital image, but a real image. Let me just find one that looks nice here. Not that one. This is a good one. So here, this first image that I imported has a background to it. Built into this, we have access to the Pro Tools, and this one right here is a very popular one, the background remover. The BG stands for background. So if you have access to these tools, you should be able to just click this. It's going to analyze your photo for a little bit, and then it will remove the background. So this would be image number 1. For this project, I want you to have 10 total images. Now the placement of it, the scale of it, and the rotation are all things that you can change based on how you want it to look. So if that's one item, and I need 9 more items, which may seem like a lot, but if you think about yourself and the things you enjoy, I'm going to search for headphones, because I listen to music all the time. So I'm going to find an image, and I like to use real photos for most of these. I like this one that has the cord on it. This one has the background already removed. So I'm going to go ahead and tuck this away somewhere for now, and I might play around with the rotation and the placement later. But for now, I'm just going to get things placed in my project. And then let's say I play guitar, so I'm going to find a guitar here. And I'm going to use an acoustic guitar. Let's see if I find a photo. I'll just use this one here because it's quick and easy. Remove the background on this one, so now I can organize these things. And I am a fan of Jesus, so I'm going to find a Bible image. I'll place this in here somewhere. One thing that I want to make note of on the next one that I place, let's find another thing here. What else do I enjoy? I'm a teacher, so let's find a teacher image, teacher-related image here, if I can find something. I wonder if the background removal will work on this one. Remove the background. Hey, there we go. So I'm going to tuck that in here somewhere. Okay, so I'm going to do something and search for a specific brand, and I'm going to show you something in just a minute. So I love Colts football. I'm a fan of the Colts. Let's type in football. You'll notice there's nothing that's really branded as the Colts logo. So if you run into that, it's because of copyright laws, I'm sure, that Canva can't promote certain things. So you may not see like your favorite brand names, anything like that is probably not going to show up on here. So this is where we're going to have to go through the steps to find it. So I'm going to open a new tab. Just do a Google search for Colts football. And then do an image search. So this is just a tip for just general browsing images and downloading them to use them. One thing that you'll want is a good high resolution image. So if you're in Google image search, you'll find this little drop menu for tools. This can have you do sizes, different sizes, and you want to choose large. Large will give you a higher resolution. So any of these images that you see will be decent quality. The next step would be to download the image. If you right click over an image, it will give you the option to save the image, but it will only save this tiny image, not the full quality. So to get that, you want to click on an image, and I want this image here. So let's say I want this image. You can see down here the resolution is in the thousands, which is good. You want a nice large resolution image. And now that this is the actual preview, if I right click over this and download it, this will be the actual true size of the image when I save it. So right click, the 2-finger tap over it to get this menu, save image as, and give it a name, and then click save. Don't ever get rid of anything past the dot. That's the file name, so you want to keep that there, the file type. So now I've downloaded an image that I want to use. let's say there's other brands that you like let's say you love, I like Coke Zero. I love to drink that. So I could find something like this. Save this image. Alright, so now that I've downloaded a couple of images that I want to use in my collage, I'm going to go back to my project. Now over here you'll find the Uploads button. So if you click on that, I've already uploaded that football once, so I'm not going to do that again, but I'll show you with the other one how to do this. So you just want to click on Upload Files, navigate to your Downloads folder, and find the image that you just downloaded. Click Open. Then if you want to use it in your project, you can simply click on it, but if you click and drag, I'll show you something. If you click and drag, if you hover over an existing image, it will actually replace the image. So once I get near an image, it's actually going to replace it. So you want to be careful when you're placing images if you're dragging them around. You want to make sure that it's not replacing something in your project. So I'm just going to release right there. Oh, it actually won't let me do that. So then I'm just going to click on it. So I suggest instead of dragging, just click on the image and that will import it into your project. I'm going to go ahead and remove that background. So you get the idea of what's going on here. The next thing I want to talk about is once you get your 10 items in here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items. So I need to find some more items, my favorite things. But for today, I'm going to stop here and just focus on how to make an arrangement of the items. You'll notice anything that I put in here is not covering up the text, but they do overlap and cover each other. And this is in order of what was placed first, second, third, fourth. So the item that was placed first, the dog, will be hidden by anything that you put over it. To change the order, you're going to click on up here where it says position. And then I like to just use the layers tab. So you can see here, this is the position window that's open. I'm going to switch over to layers so I can see all the different layers. So here you see, this is my background layer, and this is the first image. So if I want this to be on top of the teacher, I would drag it on top, and you can see now it's on top. If I want the guitar to be on top, I can find that in my layers and make sure that it's on top of the items that I want it to be over, just like that. And let's just say I want the headphones now to be over the Coke Zero. So now I can arrange these how I want them to be arranged in order. You can scale them, you can rotate them, just to make it a nice collage. If you want to change the background, change your font, there's some ways to make your font look different with effects. Or any of these images can be edited with effects. I think there's different things in here. You can add these different effects to them. Blur. Whoa. These are things I haven't played around with yet. If I paint this on, let's see what happens. Oh, it really blurs it a lot. Okay, if I do the whole image, blur intensity. Okay, so that's how you apply effects to an image. I'm going to undo this because it doesn't look good at all. But if you want to explore that, you select an item and then click on Edit, and then you're going to have a lot of different options to play around with. With the text, you have some simple effects like adding a shadow, adding some glow features, something called glitch, outline. So you can, once you even get your things in here, you can play around to make them look differently, enhance them with effects, or edit any of their properties. And the goal of this project is just to get familiar with how the program works in general, how to import images, how to resize things, how to rotate objects, how to change the order of objects using their position. And the default position for text is always on top. So let's say I wanted this to be, the guitar to be on top of it. I would have to force it to be on top. And now I can, have that overlay my text if I wanted to. So today, this is a simple assignment. I just want you to have fun with it. Again, everyone's collage is going to look different. Include your name somewhere on it and 10 items that are your favorites. So think about sports teams, things you like to eat, sports you play, hobbies that you have, video games, movies, anything that you like. If it doesn't exist in Canva, when you go to the different elements, then you'll need to search Google and use the tips that I gave you. Once you've searched something, click on Tools, choose a size that's large. That's going to give you some nice quality images. And then when you find an image, click on it to see the preview. Right click it by double or two finger tap. Save image as, that will go to your downloads folder. Then you can upload it to Canva to use it. All right, that's it.